It's the Mustang Insider Show. Now, here's Chris Sylvester.
What's up, Cal Poly fans? Welcome to the Mustang Insider, where we talk everything Cal Poly athletics. I'm Chris Sylvester. I'll run you through this next episode. We're going to chat with Cal Poly football starting quarterback Jaden Jones. But before we do so, we'd like to remind you that this podcast is brought to you in part by Dignity Health, offering all-star treatment you can trust. To learn more about our healthcare services, visit dignityhealth.org/Central Coast. Also sponsored by Grocery Outlet, sizzling fajitas, hearty beef sliders, bite-sized mini taco cups, and a mouth-watering Southwest chicken bowl. Mustang fans, you won't want to miss these dishes in the Grocery Outlet Mustang Tailgater recipe book. Get all your fresh ingredients at Grocery Outlet's San Luis Obispo store on Madonna Road. Feast on these delicious tailgating favorites before a game or at home. Download the Mustang Tailgater booklet today on gopoly.com/publications. All right, so Jaden Jones is QB1 for the Cal Poly Mustangs, 393 passing yards, 4 touchdown throws in the Mustangs' home opening comeback victory against San Diego last weekend. Jaden, thanks for taking some time. Give me your thoughts on the first couple weeks of this 2022 season.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me, Christopher. But first 2 weeks of the season, it's exciting. You know, we start off with our first game playing Fresno. Probably arguably our best competition all year that we'll play. But I mean, there's obviously things that we can still, clean up as a unit on defense, offense as well, to get things rolling. But definitely a pretty big jump from Fresno to San Diego, and still work for us to do for South Dakota this upcoming week.
Hey, I think a lot of people were surprised when you won the starting quarterback job coming out of fall camp. We saw a little bit of action last season, sometimes in different packages for running plays. But now you're the guy leading this offense. What did you work on in the offseason to get to this point?
Yes, a lot of things. It wasn't just simple stuff. Definitely, whether that's just a faster throwing motion, being able to get the ball out in different arm angles, definitely speed on my footwork, so make my reads easier, and also definitely knowing the playbook, studying the playbook, front and back, being able to know where every guy is at on the field. So when you need to know where your hot plan is, you know where he's at, or just in general with your reads from going from field or to boundary progression. So definitely working on footwork, my plays, and just being able to be more comfortable with the guys, being able to play ball and be myself. That's definitely one improvements that I jumped from last season to fall and then into spring.
What was your mindset kind of coming out of spring ball, going into fall camp? Obviously, Bo Baldwin, he always kind of keeps his quarterback job open. What was your mindset as you kind of went into the final month leading up to opening night?
Yeah, I was hungry. I was definitely, I had 2 chips on my shoulder because it's a job that I've been wanting, since I came here as an incoming freshman last year. Being able to be a preferred walk-on. You're basically always the underdog, considering you're an underdog in that position. And being able to work every day in and out, just being able to push yourself to your full potential, reach your full limit. And that's something that I did, and that's something that I feel like I need to do more in order to get this job. I'm blessed and highly blessed and fortunate enough to be the starter. Because I love being able to have my teammates trust me and into being able to lead my team and be able to win games for them. So definitely having 2 chips on my shoulders and just being able to be the guy that everyone can count on.
Jaden Jones, Cal Poly quarterback, our guest on Mustang Insider. Now, earlier this week, you were named the Big Sky Offensive Player of the Week, along with the Mechanics Bank Student Athlete of the Week. Trailed that game against San Diego 17-0, but you helped Cal Poly to the comeback victory. How did you stay positive throughout that game where a lot of adversity was thrown at you guys?
I mean, it's hard when it's down 17-0. I feel like that's when, okay, well, a lot of guys can just check out and say, okay, we can just throw this game under the bus. I felt like, as the game went on, a lot of our guys kept our composure. There's never a time where I felt that our team was down all because we're down 17-0. Whether that was me going on the sideline, huddling up my guys and telling them it's football. We practice, we prepare for this all week in order so when we come to the game, we can just be ourselves and play the game that we love. Like, we're all here for a reason. And I'll huddle them whether we're down 3 or down 17-0. There was never a time where I was not talking to guys, because I knew that we're able to win that game. So just being able to talk to my guys, be the leader that I am, and just give them always basically give them another chip on the shoulder so for them to win it even more.
Hey, how about that last drive before halftime? I mean, it really felt like you guys needed to get points there, whether it was 3 or 7. It seemed like the real turning point in that game. So going into that drive before halftime, what did you kind of tell some of your guys, and why did it start to look so easy for this offense after that?
Um, Definitely, I just told them let's play ball. I mean, we're all here for a reason. This is what we dreamed of. So just go out there and be ourselves and move the ball, hit our blocks, catch the ball. And I was like, I told my receivers in my line, you block for me, I find the receivers, you all run the right route, and I'll find you guys. We just need time and able to basically help each other because it's a team game, and that's what we did. And we all played as a unit, and that's kind of what happened. We all played it together.
Yeah, I kind of want to talk a little bit about your journey to get to where you are. 3 high schools, no senior season, right, because of the pandemic. And so that probably affected your recruiting coming out of high school a little bit. Then you enroll at Ventura Junior College. They've got a good program down there close to your hometown. Took some classes there. And then you made the decision, as you said, to come to Cal Poly as a preferred walk-on. What went into those decisions, whether it be high school, junior college, and how did you ultimately wind up in San Luis Obispo?
Well, obviously, having a senior year, season cut short due to COVID was very unfortunate. I feel like a lot of guys, not just myself, but a lot of guys in my class, were very down at that time. But all I knew is that I wanted to play football. So whether that was me graduating high school early and enrolling into Ventura College, which I felt like that was the best choice for me as a gray shirt, just because I wanted to be able to still be active and still be able to move in case, my clock was still here and for college coaches to still recruit me at that time. And then I was just blessed and fortunate enough to have Cal Poly reach out to me. And although it was no money on the table with scholarships, but prefer walk on was basically I took it and bet on myself. More of the story was I wanted to play D1 ball. I wanted to play D1 ball since I was a kid, and Cal Poly was the first one to basically take the role and believe in me. I would say believe in me and give me a chance. And I took it because I felt that I can be able to be the guy for Cal Poly and just to work and improve myself and basically say that I'm the guy for you guys for Cal Poly Mustangs.
Hey, you take a look at your background. Now your dad golfed professionally and is still very involved in the sport. What led you to pursue football above all other sports growing up as you got into high school? And do you enjoy golfing in your free time?
Yeah, a funny story is before golfing was basically my main sport. It was one time playing Pee Wee football. My mom, my mom paid for the Pee Wee football for me to play. And when I found out, I told my mom, I cried to her. I was like, Mom, I want to play golf. I want to follow my dad's footsteps, my brother's footsteps. And but my mom was definitely impact because she was like, no, play this year. I paid the money for you to play, so you're gonna play, baby. So I was like, okay, Mom, because whatever my mom says, I'm gonna do. So I played it, although I didn't want to, but I ended up having my best year of the football and Pee Wee football, and I just fell more in love with the sport. I felt like football was my ticket, out of Oxnard to be able to go somewhere, D1 level wise, and no matter where I was going at that time, because I never knew where I was gonna go, I just knew I want to play D1 ball. And I'm just fortunate enough, Cal Poly took a chance on me and basically believed in me. And football is definitely, my ticket.
But I still imagine you can hit a golf ball further than you can throw a football, right?
Man, definitely can. Just give me a couple of swings and I'll be able to hit the ball pretty far.
It's kind of like riding a bike for you. Hey, let's get back to the gridiron. I was talking to Bo Baldwin, your head coach, and obviously he sees a lot in you to give you this job as a redshirt freshman. He even made some lofty comparisons to some really good quarterbacks that he had up at Eastern Washington, Vernon Adams, Gage Gubrud, 2 guys that had a ton of success playing college football at this level. What quarterback or quarterbacks did you grow up idolizing and maybe try to mold your game after?
Definitely one of my favorites was Marcus Mariota. Every Saturday when Oregon would play, my dad and I would be glued to the TV because Marcus Mariota just kept the calmness and the poise that he had, whether that was with his reads, rolling in the pocket. He always had a calmness in him that I felt like I also had in myself as well. And with just his throwing motions, his quick decisions, I always try to utilize that. So when I was my time to go on the field, I try to take some of his game and put it in my game. And I felt like, and to this day, I still use some of Marcus Mariota's, from when he's at Oregon and obviously now he's at Atlanta Falcons. Still use some of his, his like I'll say like his decisions, throwing motion and stuff like that for like quick passes, everything like that. So definitely Marcus Mariota was a big idol for me growing up and into being a quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, I still watch to this day some of those Marcus Mariota Oregon highlight tapes to get myself hyped for a little bit of college football. That was a real show that he put up on in Eugene a number of years ago. How about Kyler Murray? Did anybody ever give you that comparison?
A lot of people. In high school, I was number one, so a lot of people call me, Kyle Murray 2.0. But definitely Kyle Murray is a big factor. Russell Wilson and definitely Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson with his looseness, his accurate ball decision, his quickness. Russell Wilson, obviously, with his throwing power, his arm strength, which I feel like I also have as well. Also with speed, and also Kyle Murray with the quickness and looseness and accuracy. So I feel like a lot of those guys I try to mold my game around. And obviously, you might not be every single player that I need to mold my game around, but definitely out of those guys, I do pick my my poison with those guys and put on the field.
Hey, now you've thrown 5 touchdowns through the first 2 games of the season, and they've all been to different guys. You hit Bryson Allen in Fresno, and then 3 tight ends, Chris Coleman this past weekend against San Diego. How excited are you about the weapons that you have on the outside, and how many different guys are able to make plays for this offense?
No, I'm very excited. Being able to be a quarterback, you love weapons. I'm glad that I'm able to have, trusting receivers and trusting tight ends to be able to, know the routes, know how to run the routes in certain coverages, and being able to know where they're going to be at. So when it's time for me to go to that progression, I can trust them so they can be there. So it's basically having trust, a lot of, repetition on reps on basically at practice, knowing where they're going to be. And then when it comes to game day, we can just basically go out there and perform. So I definitely am blessed and highly favored with the guys I have on my offense, on receivers and tight end.
I feel like this team is a good mix of guys that have been around for a while and a good mix of young guys like yourself. Are there any upperclassmen that you maybe look to for advice on and off the field these first couple years at Cal Poly?
Yeah, definitely one is Mike Roth. Mike Roth probably been here longer than all of us, combined. But definitely Mike Roth, even though we're different positions, he definitely can, cool me down or definitely keep me under control on what I need to, do as a quarterback, whether that's just being a leader, what I need to see on defense. So when it comes down to game day, we're all on the same page and working together.
Hey, let's talk about this upcoming weekend. It's South Dakota on the docket. Really good program, tough place to win games. They beat you guys at your place last season. They're off to an 0-2 start, but still a really good team, a lot of talent there. What have you seen on film here early in the week as you get ready for your first FCS road game?
Yeah, don't get me wrong, I say the record doesn't mean anything. They're still a good football team. They have really good guys on defense, guys on offense that can carry the ball, stop the ball. But it just who basically comes down to who plays the best game. I feel like my guys are obviously going to be able. I feel like my guys will be able to take over their guys more, just because I have more trust in my guys and I know what they can do. But South Dakota is definitely a good game. It's going to be a really fun matchup. But I definitely see some stuff in the defense where we can pick at and take advantage of that will lead us to hopefully to a victory, and that's where I see us going with that.
Jaden Jones, Cal Poly quarterback, thanks so much for your time. Where can fans follow you on social media throughout the season?
You can follow me on my Twitter at Jaden M Jones 3 and on Instagram at Jaden Jones QB11_. Feel free to guys hit me up if you have any questions for young guys or older people or even fans. Just I'm always here. I don't bite.
Let's get a go Mustangs.
Hey, go Mustangs. Let's ride, baby.
All right, good stuff from Jaden Jones, QB1 at Cal Poly. We'll see if the Mustangs can string together back-to-back victories as they close out non-conference play this weekend in South Dakota. Coming up next week, it is arguably the biggest sporting event yearly on the Central Coast. I'm talking about the blue-green soccer game between Cal Poly and UC Santa Barbara. We'll break down the matchup with Mustang men's soccer head coach Steve Sampson. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube and Art19. Until next time, I'm Chris Sylvester. This has been the Mustang Insider from Learfield.
This has been the Mustang Insider Show. The preceding has been a Learfield's presentation on the Cal Poly Sports Network.